This is part 3 of the City in the Sky, and right off the bat here in this part, we're going to be jumping right into the mini boss fight. Pretty cool little fight.
I do like this mini boss. This one doesn't cause me that much trouble, but I faced 2 later on that really destroyed me. But it was a cool boss fight with a little bit different aspect to it.
Yeah, and you'll see this here in a moment. I liked how...
I like that too.
I like how like the boss kind of flies in and out of the room that you're fighting in.
Yes, that's the whole thing of being outside. It makes it more on a grander scale, I guess. More epic / on a grander scale.
Exactly. And while I kind of paused there, I was beginning to worry that we don't.
I said that so you could I said that so you could clutch your thought.
Yeah, I forgot we had to open up this room that we dropped into because I said right off the bat we fight the mini boss. Then we started doing stuff.
That's close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah, but I say he looks.
If you don't know yet, we're not perfect.
Yeah, he looks like a little mini flying dragon, but he's got like a sword and shield. I think he's a cool looking guy.
It's like a mini version of what we'll be fighting later on for the main boss.
It really is, which is appropriate for a mini boss.
I like the whole thing of like the hook shot and bringing him down to you.
Yes.
Like pulling him in. It's kind of like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Come here! What was it? Get over here. Get over here. That's what it was. I couldn't remember exactly, but
I like that too. And they kind of make it
fatality. I wish we could do that on this guy.
We deliver one to him. Don't worry. But I kind of feel like they almost made it too obvious that you need to hook shot him because his shield looks just like the targets on the walls and stuff.
Yeah, but see, I like things like that because it's a good hit.
I mean, that's really nitpicky on my part, of course.
Because if that didn't look like one of those targets, would you have tried that? I know I would have.
Probably not.
So I'm actually really glad that looked like a target.
I'd probably be trying to climb in one of these windows.
Yes, I would have looked online. I'd probably tried that definitely, but I would have looked online or just spent 30 minutes trying to figure it out.
Yep. But I just love when he like goes flying out one window. You have to kind of figure out which window he's going to come back flying in. You're like, really makes sense of an open of a room with these holes that open to the outside like this. They take advantage.
They really use this dungeon and implement things into it very well.
I'm right there with you. I agree 100%. He's not a difficult boss. He got me once or twice on one of those dive bombs. But I mean, there we go.
It's pretty simple, but going along with mini bosses, they're usually not too hard unless it's a stupid dark nut in the Temple of Time, which that thing really had me there.
There are a few of those that are like duels like that where they block almost all your attacks. They're a real pain in the neck. Thankfully, this guy didn't, even though he's got a shield, didn't block too much of your attacks.
No, he didn't. And one thing, it's not really going on right now at this area. Oh wait, we're getting Double Clawshot. I'll bring it up. I'll bring up that point later on, guys. I got my boy coming up right here.
Yeah, and you know
my girl. I call my girl, man. Call my girl.
We mentioned back in the first part how much big fans we were of these double claw shots.
I think it might be my favorite item in the whole Legend of Zelda series.
It is pretty awesome, and it's like great that you can use them. I mean, obviously to climb back up on like multiple targets and stuff, but the way you can raise and lower yourself on things like that.
And I don't think in Skyward Sword you couldn't raise and lower yourself, could you? I don't believe you could in Skyward Sword.
I don't think so.
Because you got the double claw shot. You actually got it right away in Skyward Sword, but I actually like that just that very tiny aspect of being able to lower yourself. I don't know, just it adds something to it.
And they use it well.
I don't know, man.
They implement it well also in this dungeon.
The claw shot's awesome. I'm getting a little emotional over here.
Hick's going to take a breather here. I'll try to.
I love the claw shot, man.
Yeah. I love how they're like when you first open that treasure chest, it goes, "You found another claw."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What's this?"
But
then once you start using it, like I said, with the lowering yourself and things like that, and being able to just move along these targets and climb back up some of the big rooms we have to climb back, it really opens up what you're able to do. And you mentioned that like how in Skyward Sword you get both claw shots or hook shots, whatever they call it, in Skyward Sword.
I think your claw shots in Skyward Sword too.
I think they are too. Like right off the bat, and I'm like, Nintendo realized what a gold mine they had.
Yeah.
What an awesome
weapon. How awesome it would have been to have double claw shots throughout this whole game.
Yeah, and the way that they just implement that in Skyward Sword, they're like, we got something that people obviously must have loved or tested well or they just had ideas for it. And it worked out great in Skyward Sword, the way they're like, everyone loved double claw shots. We're giving them to you right off the bat.
And I know what you say about like when you first got it, and I was just joking about being emotional earlier.
Yeah.
People are gonna think I'm a wussy or something. Talking about being emotional about double claw shots.
Who knows what people think of us on this?
Yeah, there's true. There's no telling what they already think.
But anyway, continue. Sorry.
I just don't think that about you guys. But no, the first time I got the claw shot, I was kind of like you. I was like, so is this like an upgrade to the long shot?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with another claw shot?
Like tape it on the end of the first
Like and then like you realize what you can do with it, and you're just like,
yep.
Oh man, this thing's awesome.
And it's just, I think this is one of the first areas in this dungeon that really got me frustrated the first time. I didn't even think about coming back out to this room and
You have to, don't you?
I think you have to come back to this room, and then working your way all the way back up and finding that little switch hanging there.
Yeah, I think it took me a while to be honest. I think I might backtrack through a dungeon quite a bit my first time.
This was probably one of those rooms where I'm just like, what in the world am I doing?
Yeah.
And I think I was on crappy dial-up internet. No, I was probably in college. I probably had high-speed internet back then.
Well, you need the internet for Zelda.
No, I never need the internet for Zelda.
No, I mean, but like, how did the internet have anything to do with?
It's not figure out where to go.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I do cheat every now and then.
Okay, shit, it's more than that for both of us.
Yeah. But
10 minutes. Screw this.
Yeah, I remember like that room though, and trying to find that stupid switch at the top that I didn't even see.
I think I had a hard time with it too. Like I said, I think I backtracked through the dungeon quite a bit trying to figure out what the heck to do next.
Yeah, but going back and like watching this now though, and having a much better understanding of like the layout of the dungeon, the concept of the dungeon, and just generally where to go, it is so much more appealing now. And I feel like without getting turned around like that, like you said, it went from being one of your least favorites to being one of your favorites, just kind of knowing where to go.
Yeah, and the first time I played this game, I didn't know you could use your Z targeting right there.
Oh,
and so I was sitting there, and those things are falling down, and I'm trying to aim them.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about nerve-wracking, man. That was nerve-wracking right there. But going back, like, how you kind of, we were talking about, like, how we hate the first time, and then I liked it more this time through. You not really play your second time.
Like I said, just watching it, I've enjoyed it.
But like I have it as my 4th favorite dungeon overall in the whole Legend of Zelda series, so my opinion changed on it drastically.
It just cracks me up. I remember the first time you told me that, I'm like, that you like loved it now.
Yeah.
I was like, remember when we first started doing this? You asked me for my least favorite dungeons. This was on the list.
Yeah.
This was like my top 5 least favorite.
Well, that's the thing with Zelda. Like, I mean, sometimes when you get stuck, I mean, it could be a great dungeon.
Yeah.
But if you get stuck, then you just end up having a really bad, feeling and memory of it. I mean, it could be a great dungeon, but if you get stuck for an hour, you're gonna hate the place. And I think this is one of those places.
Yeah. Especially when you haven't played the game now in probably 7 years since I played this game. God only knows how long since it came out. Basically. It's like. I played some of the dungeons and stuff for our videos and stuff. But yeah, it's just like it does stick in your mind. I feel like the more frustrating things stick in your mind more than like the good things.
And how awesome is this right here?
Oh,
hook shine across the bottom of a bridge. I mean, come on. You have view in the background, and that's one thing about this dungeon. Well, I've said that's one thing 20 times.
And there's a lot of things.
Okay? There's a lot of just great views in this dungeon. Like in most dungeons, you can only see like one room.
Yep.
You come outside in this place. I mean, you can see all the buildings sometimes, and like right there, just there's so many great views.
Yeah, like being able to see like some of the other areas that we're trying to work our way to from the outside is not something we ever, or very rarely get to experience when you're in a Zelda dungeon.
Yeah,
you don't in a dungeon, like you said, you see one room in front of you, and you can never see how the whole dungeon kind of ties together.
Do you think it's like the largest dungeon in any Zelda game? Like,
it's gotta be up there.
Yeah. I guess the Fire Sanctuary in Skyward Sword is pretty big. That was sprawled out. It's sprawled out over a big area.
That's like in the entire.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of outside parts too. But I mean, this is really one of the bigger dungeons that I can think of really in a Zelda game.
Yeah, and thankfully though, not one of the most time consuming. We get through here.
It took me an hour and 15 minutes, and I knew what I was doing. So it's a longer dungeon.
It can be time consuming. Yeah. Well, part of that's when we get near the end, and some of the turbines move really slow.
Yeah, that is true.
That kind of drags it out. But I feel like just being able to see this entire city from the outside adds such a sense of scale.
I like how they call it a city.
Yeah.
Like, like Zelda's like, I don't know when it's said, but like, it's like old times, not much technology, like, way, way back in the day. And so, like, you've mostly heard about villages, towns, and then, like, here you get a city. And it's really, the first time I can think of that a city, like, the term city was used in a Zelda game.
Because, I think you get, like, things like Clocktown or Kakariko Village or Goron Village.
Yeah.
Is it Goron Village?
Yeah.
And like Zora's Domain.
It's Goron Village and Majora's Mask. It's Goron. Oh, dang it! It's Goron City and Ocarina of Time. Take that point that I just mentioned about the city term and scratch it.
No, it's only the second time they call it a city.
I totally forgot about Goron City in Ocarina of Time.
Well, I still think Goron Village. Yeah. I guess that's
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. Yeah. No, I do.
And that's why I kill those things, because if you don't, you get right there. It didn't knock me down, but still.
There's no worse feeling than being hanging from something like that, and you hear that music change.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh,
yeah, no. You get really nervous and timid. Don't know what's going on.
You start Z-targeting everywhere, trying to figure out where he is. And I like what you did, though. You just dropped right back down. You were only on, like, the first little helicopter plant or whatever. You just dropped right back down. It was a really smart strategy, and it got us across the bridge. But this wraps up part 3.